Right, the first question, and it's always the same question I ask, it's always a big question, is how did you get into music in the first place? And then tell us a little bit about early influences.
Okay. Right. How? I had no interest in music. That's how it started. My brother, he was the musician in the family, Neil O'Connor, and he was in a band called The Flies.
Yeah.
I'd already done a runner from Coventry when I was 16, and I ended up, by some strange quirk of fate, living in London, going to see my brother's band supporting, I don't know, Buzzcocks I think it was. And I was so excited about how the music was going, and my brother in his band and everybody, you know, clapping and shouting, and the energy of, I guess, the post-punk area of time. I said to my brother, well, how'd you do that, Nee? I really want to do that. Because I was just like, the energy. And he said, oh, you've got to write songs, Hayes. You've got to write songs. So I said, would you show me? So he did. And I spent a little while just... I always thought it was mystery-y music, which is a stupid thing to say, because music is something that's part of us all. And from our ancestors and from when we were, you know, cracking stones as Neanderthals, music was something that we made together, and that, for me, the era of the post-punk new wave made me realise that you didn't have to be beautiful, because again it was very sexist in music business. You didn't have to be somebody that was gorgeous, that was sexy. You could just, for one moment in time, be who you were, and I kind of like to always celebrate that as a woman, because it pisses me off that we're always judged by the size of our tits or our arse or our little skinny this and that. So, sorry, I'm going on and on, but very important, and it is sounding off, isn't it?
It is sounding off.
And I want to show.
Just wind you up and let you know.
This is what we want.
So the thing was, I saw Neil's band, saw the Buzzcocks, saw the energy, wanted to be part of it, didn't know how, and thought it, you just go to the shop and you buy yourself a record deal. And he, put me right on that. He said, no, Hayes, you need to write songs. So he showed me a little bit. I learned to play the piano enough to write my songs down, because as a songwriter, I think that's really important. I met a young songwriter last night that I asked her how did she do her backing tracks for an artist she was working with called Letitia. And she said, well, actually, I don't, because I don't write music, so I'm writing lyrics only. And I said, oh, no, don't do that, because you've got to know what your language is. Because basically all it is a language, and there's only like 7 notes in that language. And once I figured that out, and I'm dyslexic too, so for me it was a journey of discovery each time. When I looked at the piano, I don't understand things the way a proper fabulous musician that will go on stage and play, but I understand the language of it, and I understand what it looks like, and for me it freed me off. So that's, what was the question?
The question, how did you get into music in the first place?
So then, Neil gets me to write songs, and the guitarist in the band was Dave Dudar. What's his name that wrote? No
Freeman.
More I love you.
Freeman.
Dave Freeman. So the Flies did my first demos with me. I then hawked those demos around to different record companies, getting lots of doors slammed in my face. And then one day I went into this company called Albi. They signed me, to cut the story shorter, for £1. And I was so thrilled that somebody wanted me, which is a problem that young musicians have. Well, we all have it as human beings, don't we? Sometimes if somebody says they want you, you feel so great about it that you make terrible mistakes. And I'm no different. So I did the deal with them for the £1, and then I had no money for my rent. So I was answering the telephones for them for 2 weeks. And on the first day of answering the telephones, a phone call came from a company that was going to make this film, Breaking Glass. And they said, oh, can we speak to the bosses? And I said, no, the bosses are all out to lunch, literally. And I said, actually, I'm the only person here at the moment. Can I help you? And they said, we're looking for somebody called Hazel O'Connor. She's a singer on the label. And I said, that's me. And yeah, and then you know, continued from there. So that's beginnings. Is that right?